In this project, I will be redoing my homeschooling cupboard. These days is just a homework cupboard. I'll be repainting it and doing some organizing as well and be sharing with you what I did along the way. This used to be my parents' cupboard. It is solid wood and I thought I'm going to sand it down and stain it. But the surprise was that first layer of paint just didn't want to come off and I decided to just paint it a blue color. I'd had some roof paint left and I knew it will be resistant against all the scratches and pulling out of books and bins, so I used that. As you can see, I already have some of the things organized. Some of my organization worked wonderfully, others failed miserably. So I'll be correcting the ones that failed and I'll be sharing with you which ones worked fantastically. I started off by removing the doors and all the hardware because I wanted to paint it. Actually, I wanted to sand it down and stain it, but end up painting it, and it just looks better if the hardware is not painted. I managed to rile the kids up and they helped me take everything out of the cupboards. This will also learn them that if they create chaos, they have to clean it up, and that's a lot of work. We had more educational material at other places and other cupboards in the house, so I had to create extra shelves to store those all in the same cupboard so I don't go hunting around the house for extra material. After trying to strip the paint off, which did not work, trying to sand all the paint off, which also did not work, because every time we moved, I had to repaint the cupboard, just a layer of white paint, but still, we moved quite a lot, and there was a lot of paint on that cupboard. So at the end, I just sanded the existing paint just to break the seal because it was a water-based enamel, so that I can just paint everything the same dark blue. After sanding, I decided I would like to give the doors some extra detail. I used dust clay and a silicone mold, which I brought from Shein, but there's also some on Timo. And some craft shops also stock these. However, I live in a small town and they do not stock things like that. You start off by rolling the clay in a sausage-like shape. Then you press the clay into the mold. Use some pressure, else the mold won't be pressed into the clay properly. Now you remove the excess with a sharp knife and just remove the clay from the silicone mold. I used some wood glue and pasted the wet clay on top of that. Then I took a brush and some clean water and I removed the excess glue. I started to spray paint the cupboard. However, I had to sift the paint just to make sure there's no particles left in the paint, else it will clog up my spray painting gun. ended up painting the doors with a brush and roller, and the difference between the finish of the spray painting and the brush and the roller was no different. My doors were hanging skew and crooked and didn't close properly, so I decided I will be replacing all the hinges and the door fasteners. I decided to put three door hinges on each door, and I ordered some handles from Shein, which I also attached to the front of the doors. I used some chalk because it's easy to clean off and it doesn't damage the paint. Then I attached a hook to the door to hang up the chalk charts. There can be other things you want to hang up, but it's a wonderful way to show something. If I open the doors, the kids can see the alphabet and their sounds and what they should be doing that day. Organizing that worked wonderfully was these plastic file containers. I store the coloring books in one and some of the reading books in the other one. It's an easy way to pull things out without removing a lot of books all at once. You can just pull out one bin and you have everything on the table. I organize the puzzles in this A4 zip envelopes. It takes up less space and I can see through the envelopes which puzzle is inside. I also bought some plastic containers, which I put in the counting fruit and the magnets and things like that. So all those are the same, just to make it look more simplistic. Because if you have different containers, it's going to look cluttered. So if you have the same containers, it looks more organized. So all the containers are clear so that the kids can see what's inside. So that they don't take things out and just put them on the floor and then leave them there. They know what they want because they can see what is inside. And then this project was done. There was also a place for them to put their backpacks when they get back from school. I used the filing cabinet to store their daily homework. So their homework sheets and their wipe away work cards and flashcards. So those are the things they use daily. The rest of the things are organized according to categories. And it is, I say it easy as that, it took me a while. But months after I have completed this project, I'm still using it. And I maybe organized it one time when my daughter decided to make some crafts and just put everything back in the cupboard to say she finished something. But now we're done. I hope you found something interesting. I hope that this helps you.